What up? What up? Thank you for joining the session. Sessions with Sess. It's October 2nd, 2023. It's 10:11 p.m. here in Detroit, 7:12. Just switched on me on the West Coast, and we're going to talk Prime Impact. Didn't get a chance to do my sessions like I wanted to do them pregame for last week's game, so we're going to cover just everything about Colorado USC in this session right here. So first up, I can't front. I was picking Colorado to win. I thought that uh, we could have any given Sunday. Why not us kind of turn around after the Oregon game and go home and get a win against USC? Almost got it. Almost happened. Not mad about the loss at all. Lincoln Riley is the truth. We knew that already. He's been coaching 7 years. This man got 3 Heisman Trophy winners and a runner-up. Okay. Uh, I think Baker, Kyler, Caleb, Jay Hurts. So he's the truth. He knows what he's doing. Totally respect everything that he's doing down there in USC. Caleb Williams is as advertised. Young man is as advertised. Listen, like I told you at the beginning of this journey and looking at this prime impact, I don't watch too much college football right now. I keep my ear to the street and try to keep the big names uh, in my head and on my radar. So not watching a lot of college football, but Caleb Williams as advertised. I can't wait to see where he ends up next year. And I'm really hoping it's someplace where they could do something with it. And you don't have to wait to be great too long. Colorado. Wow. We knew going into the game, we're gonna be shorthanded. I didn't expect to be shorthanded, three corners and a safety, but that ended up being the situation. Of course, Shiloh was out, Travis Hunter was out, Carter Stockmeyer was out, and Kendrick Breedlove all out. And it looked like it in that first half, y'all. It looked like we were down three corners and a safety with the way we were giving up them points. But keep in mind that over halftime, they flipped the switch and grew up as a team. I don't know if they grew up or if they grew together. That chemistry is starting to come together. They gelling as a unit now, and they were able to hold. I think what we call in the greatest offense in college football right now to just 14 points in that second half. So of course some great adjustments, but I think too just the gelling and the coming together and the building of trust and the being able to lean on each other and lean into each other is really starting to show here with this Colorado team. They didn't win the battle down in the trenches, but at least they know that they can go into the trenches with each other now. And that's going to be important going forward and moving to this national championship that Deion Sanders is getting ready to bring to Colorado. And I think he's bringing it. I think he's bringing it soon, like as early as next season. I don't think it's in the cards for this season, but oh man, I know some people still aren't believers, but if you just look at what he's been able to do since the time he got on that plane and left Jackson State after losing that bowl game to right now, and you think about him having this season and this year at Colorado, and then being able to have that whole off season, knowing that he's going to be at Colorado with young prospects, being able to see what he's been able to do at Colorado, and then of course just the dynamics of what he's going to be able to do as a recruiter. I don't, again, once Deion is sitting in your living room, who are you going on with? Listen, Les Miles, Urban Meyer. I know not even coaching right now. Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley. They all show up and they all got a story to tell and they all got a program to talk about. But I think when Prime show up, it's just a different energy that comes with it. He make you believe. Everybody want to get up and go. And that's nothing against those other coaches, but just who you going home with. Who you leaving with. You leaving the dance with him. You leaving the dance with him if he asks you. That's just it. But back to what we saw on Saturday. And the coming together of this team. He's starting to get to know his players. He's starting to get to understand how and when and what motivates these young people even more. And that's going to be even more telling as this season goes on and as his coaching career goes on here in Colorado with these young men and the ones that come after him. The better he knows how to reach down inside of you and what motivates you to pull that dog out, to pull that leader out, to pull that winner out, to pull that extra work out, the more he's going to be able to get out of these young people. And the more they're going to want to show up and show out for him. And I think we're able to see now a little bit how his players are going to show out, how they're going to show up, who's going to show up, how they're going to show up, when and how they're going to do and make impacts in the game. And specifically, we had the freshman, the receiver, Omarion Miller. Okay, he had I think 7 for 196 in one of them things. He almost had a fire ass catch for a 2-point conversion in double coverage that got called back because I believe he stepped out. He snatched it, but he was out. He didn't get his foot down. We got Mikey Harrison, tight end. I believe he's a tight end. Still coming along. The cornerback, what's his name? Cormani McClain. He got a chance to play. Oh wow. I think he knocked the ball down in the end zone. But he got a chance to play. Colorado is sitting at 3-2. They won one game all last year. So if nothing else happens, they won already this year because they're better than they were last year. He's had that impact already. But nobody is talking about Shedeur Sanders. Nobody's talking about Shedeur Sanders. Let me tell y'all something. Shedeur is the truth. He do it more with less than anybody else in college football right now. This man been on his back more times than I think anybody else in college football right now. I think that still stands. Offensive line is still figuring it out. They're still figuring it out. I'm not going to trash anybody because these are young people. These are young people trying to find their way, and some of them will go pro, and some of them are just doing what they need to do to use their body to get to education. They need to understand that too. And these are things that will self-correct and be coached up as this process goes on. So we'll see definitely an improved offensive line. We'll see an improved defensive line. We're going to get some people back. And the progress and the I think the growth and the development of these young men and this program is going to continue into something very, very great and into something that's going to be historic. It's going to be historic. Shedeur ended up being 30 or 45. He threw for 371 and 4 of them things. Behind the offensive line, they need a lot of work. behind relationships with receivers that he's just been building over the last few months. I sure hope. I sure hope Deion is right and Shador and Shiloh both are coming back next season to have a full, hopefully full, healthy season with Travis and whatever else talent is coming into this program. But it's like he said, you better get him now. You better get Deion now because it's only going up from here. It's only going up from here. And I think even Deion, well, probably not Deion, but I think a lot of people may be surprised at how quickly this thing is ascending because they thought it was going to take him a little bit of time. Oh, he's at Colorado. Oh, he's going to need some time to get his recruiting traction up. Have to get to know these guys. He came right in and got down to business, and he hasn't changed who he is. And I love that he's staying the old school, hard-nosed, tough love coach that he is. And he's not letting anyone, media or anybody, interfere or soften how he delivers the message that he's delivering. Because it's bigger than football, y'all. It's bigger than football, y'all. This man is showing us a blueprint of how to meet our young people where they are right now, how to wrap our arms around them and support them into the next chapter of their lives. He's bridging a gap that we haven't been able to necessarily bridge the last few years. And this is really important in how we shape and mold the future of our young people, our country, and what we look like. Like, we got to figure out how we meet these young people and how we engage with these young people and how we empower and support them in first figuring out what it is they're interested in, right? Just exploring what they might be interested in and then pursuing what their passions are. And understanding that those passions and the things that they want to pursue are going to look different than the things that we pursued at their age. And being able to understand that that's because the world looks different now. And being able to understand when your kid wants to grow up and be a professional gamer or a YouTube influencer. And understanding that those professions, if pursued the right way, can generate generational wealth. But you got to be able to meet them where they're at. You got to be able to understand their language. You got to be willing to walk the walk with them and talk the talk with them in a way, from what I'm seeing with Deion and just what I believe in my own self, in a way that still sets boundaries and lets kids know that you're going to show up for them all the time. He's doing that in a way that we haven't seen before, in a way that we need to pay attention to, in a way that goes beyond football, in a way that goes beyond college athletics, in a way that goes beyond coaching. Don't lose sight of that. This is going to be something really great to continue to watch as it plays out. But back to the game. In addition to being able to put up them 3 TDs in the last 16 minutes, after not being able to get much going earlier in the game, we also saw Colorado put together a rushing game. They ended up with almost 200 yards on the ground. They came alive. So we starting to see some traction. We starting to see some things working in their favor. That now that these 2 big games are over, they'll be able to continue to build on against I think teams that are more close to them as far as like level of talent and where they're at as far as programs than the USCs and the Oregons. We're going to see them play against some talent that is equivalent to where they are right now as far as the talent that they have on the team, how they've been able to put it together and produce a product on the field. A product that, with every throw, with every run, with every tackle, with every hike, look like it's taking a step continuously in the right direction. And that's a direct reflection of Deion Sanders. The prime impact is real. Deion is still preaching resilience. And these kids are becoming adults and young men right before our eyes. And I couldn't be prouder of the manner in which he's doing it. I'm not going to say that people are going to agree with everything that Deion does. I'm not going to say that people are going to necessarily agree with Deion's approach to some things. But we can be sure that it comes from a place of love. We can be sure that his actions come from a place that is meant to support and propel. We can be sure that there's no maliciousness around what it is he's trying to do for these kids. Like he said, he already got a gold jacket. You came back. So it's nothing that these kids can do for him except fulfill that passion that he has of being able to see these kids win and being able to see these kids flourish in a game that he loves. The prime impact has turned Boulder, Colorado, into a football season destination city. Boulder, Colorado, destination city. Now, understand that. I understand a lot of people might be like, I would never go to Colorado. Okay, well, yeah, I understand. My passion for cannabis has me interested in going to Colorado. But I wasn't headed to Boulder. I was going to Denver, I thought. With the prime impact now, I feel like Boulder might be where to go. Yeah, listen, they took the time to go through the crowd and show you the different athletes, actors, actresses, news people, whatever, entertainers that have been in the house for these Colorado games. That's something you see like for the Lakers. Something you see at a pay-per-view boxing match, Super Bowl. And especially for the football people, the professional footballers that are showing up. I don't think that they're coming so much for Deion. They're not coming to see Deion. They're coming to see the team. They're coming to see what he's been able to do with this team because Deion's not catching no passes. He's not catching no interceptions. He's not running no balls back. He's not doing any of that. But they coming and they coming in droves. And they coming even when they lose. So can you imagine what this train and this thing is gonna look like once they get to really winning? Come on with me, y'all. Come on with me. This history in the making. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If they don't get him to go to the NFL soon, right? If we get 5 years of prime at Colorado, oh wow, 5 years of prime at Colorado, I expect him to have a couple of them things, a couple of them national championships. And the guest list can only get bigger. The guest list can only get bigger. Listen, you got Warsapp would it be on the coaching team. But when you just look at the people that just show up for the game, this week they said in Boulder we had Cordell Stewart, who I think played at Colorado. Michael Westbrook, who I believe also played at Colorado. You had the baby come and talk to the team, and he was able to share some of the different challenges that he's had in his career. Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, I think Aaron Gordon, Contavious Caldwell Pope, DeAndre Jordan, Christian Braun, Deshaun Jackson, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, Terrell Owens, Deshaun McCoy, Joy Taylor. Skip Bayless was in the building Friday. Brought his whole showdown to Colorado. Can you imagine? Can you imagine when they playing for a national championship or they in one of these big bowl games? What I wish most of the people could see is the impact that others can have on programs, and not the same prime impact because prime is prime. Okay, it's not many that do it like him, but we can have these type of effects on other programs if we make that decision. We can build up other programs if we make that decision. I just love what he's doing. I just love what he's doing, and I'm here for it. I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of it. I can't wait till he's really on the road and people really start believing and really start seeing the impact that you can have on youth when you make it a priority to meet them where they at and give them everything you got. Prime impact is real, and we gonna keep following it. Stay tuned. Talk